Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
Let's get right into 2023, man. You competed once after sitting out all of 2022. How was it when you got back into the cage, when you got back into competition at Brave? How was that feeling?
Yeah, it was unreal. Yeah, I was telling Scott Askham before I went out, was just in the back about to walk out, and I just kept telling him, I fucking love this. I really do enjoy it, and yeah, I'd missed it a lot. It's a big thing for me. You know what I mean? I've fought all my life, and yeah, it's important to me.
Yeah, man, staying busy, and you've been hearing a lot from even other fighters, right? Talking about like mentally, it can be draining not competing because you're doing all this
Yeah,
training, all of this preparation, but you're not actually fighting. Could you, relate to that?
yeah, absolutely. It's difficult because obviously when you've been active all your life, and then you kind of have a little bit of a spell where you're not able to do what you love. Training can sometimes feel a little bit aimless, and it's hard to kind of stay motivated sometimes. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like I say, I'm back now, and I'm feeling great. My body feels great, and I want to have a big run really this year.
Yeah, man, right on time too. I mean, you're at that age, right, where you're about to, hit your prime or you're in your prime. Let's
Yeah,
talk about the last fight though. 1 second left in the fight. You lock up the arm bar. He taps pretty much instantly. But before the finish happened, assess your own performance. How did you feel about it?
yeah, I felt really good. I was a little bit worried about like ring rust, as anyone would be. But in the back, I was absolutely flying on the pads. I was moving really well. The only thing that I would be negative on my performance with is I just felt like my feet were heavy. Like I felt like I couldn't quite get myself moving the way I wanted to. I actually feel like if I'd have performed how I felt I was going to in the back, I think I'd have maybe took him out standing up. I believe. But I had to just switch things up and just grapple him to death.
Mhm. But you were beating the hell out of him on the ground too, as well. You know what I mean? There were some heavy shots from top.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I felt so comfortable. I feel really comfortable in the wrestling and the grappling. It's nice to know that I've got something to fall back on. Should the striking not be going as well as I want it to, I've always got that plan B.
And talk about grappling, man. Your fight coming up. A lot of people might think it's a grappler's delight. It could. Are we right about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly believe I can submit this guy. I've been watching him obviously a lot. I feel like he's best on top, but if I get him on his back, I'm gonna smash him. I seen well, a lot of people would have seen the one where he wins in the last 15 seconds or something. He was getting dominated on the ground when he was on the bottom. The guy was passing his guard, mounting him. Uh, I get on top, I'm going to be so much better than that other guy, and I'll take advantage and I'll submit him.
Yeah, but like going back to like you said, he was losing the fight and he comes back and gets like a win last minute.
Yeah,
When you see something like that, you know that the guy is dangerous at any point in the fight, right?
yeah, for sure. Like he's very dangerous. He's got good submissions. He's obviously got strong finishes. Like his finishing mechanics are obviously really strong, and he's able to finish fights. But in my opinion, like that was just a really bad mistake by that opponent. Like the guy had thrown his legs over multiple times. He'd already escaped the same attempts, and then gets caught with it in the last 15. Like I honestly think that was just a massive technical error by that guy. Um, I can't see that happening to me.
All right,
Like
and
I honestly believe that I get on top of him, I'm gonna cut through his guard like butter, mate, and I'm gonna take advantage. I think I'll get his back, and I'll finish him.
yeah, there's a reason why they put you against him. PFL
Absolutely,
did.
the matchmakers know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dan Hardy's tried to make this fight happen before, right? But it was short notice, and obviously he's a very good opponent, and I
Yeah.
respect him, so I didn't take him on short notice. He's obviously made it happen again, and Yeah, he knows. You know what I mean? I believe he knows that I'm a nightmare stylistically for him. This is a good match.
What do you think of the other aspects of his game, like his striking?
Um, I think he's got nice striking. I feel like he's quite tidy. But again, like nothing overly explosive. I've been in there with much better strikers, obviously, with some of the guys on my record. But yeah, still got to take him serious. He's going to look to. They all hit hard at this level. They're all dangerous. So, but I feel like I could take advantage of him on the feet as well.
For sure. And how will not having the ability to throw elbows change the game?
Oh, that's such a nightmare, really. I don't understand the method behind this not being able to elbow. I think if anything, we should throw a few more things and we should have a little bit of everything, knees on the ground, everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, I find it wild, like a major organisation cutting out elbows. I think elbows are such a cool part of the sport, and yeah, I feel like it's definitely saved my opponent a little bit because I feel like that's a real strong point of mine, and I think especially when I'm grappling on top, sometimes it's safer to throw elbows and keep position
Yeah.
rather than like creating a bit more space to throw a punch. So it's a little bit of a tool taken away, but is what it is. I've fought like that rule set before, so it's nothing new.
For sure, man. You have the experience. And Grant Combat Academy, you built this gym. You know what I mean? I see you bringing in people to train with you at your gym. Is that how you're doing your camp? You're bringing people in, or do you go out and train at other spots?
Yeah, so I'm actually in Hull now. I've just been to Carlson Graces. I've just trained with Owen Livesey and his team. So we mix it up like again, yeah, I'll invite people down, but I'll also go out and seek it. Tomorrow we're going to Manchester Top Team to spar. So getting plenty of different looks and inviting a lot of people down. It's been really good.
Yeah, and working with Owen, man, how has that been preparing for the Lazy King?
Yeah, I think that's really good. You know, Owen's got huge wins in the grappling. He's beat Chris Weidman, he's beat Josh Barnett. Um, he's a really high level judoka, and his wrestling's very good. So I believe he's helped me prepare perfectly for this fight. I feel like the looks he's been giving me, and you know, it's unreal, really. Perfect training partner, I believe, for this fight.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it as well, man. I was looking up Owen and seeing some of the things that he's been doing. I was like, damn, this dude is legit, man. I've never heard of him, so I'm gonna be honest with you. So I
Yeah,
had to look him up.
yeah. So, like, obviously, I'm familiar with Owen's techniques and things now because we are training partners and we train a lot regular. So you do learn each other a little bit, but like, you know, he's given me a lot of confidence because if I can defend his takedowns, and get up from underneath his pressure, then I'll have no problem getting up with the Lazy King. I feel like Owen, he's a bit of a specialist. Do you know what I mean? So just having him put me under his kind of pressure, I've seen it all, and I'm ready for this.
Yeah, there's a reason why you see a lot of MMA guys now bringing in the specialist, the ground
Yeah,
specialist into their camps. You know what I mean? And there's a reason. You know what I mean? Because these dudes will beat the MMA fighters. Let's just be real. They're
yeah,
specialists.
absolutely, yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's been amazing. Obviously Owen's looking to come back to MMA as well. So we're both just elevating each other's game. It's been amazing. And then we have Scott Askham and Mark DeCasey and quite a few others popping into the gym. It's a really strong mat.
Yeah, for sure. Those two names, man, phenomenal. And for yourself, man, what are you expecting in this fight against Lazy King? What do you want to do to him?
I'd love to get a finish over him. Obviously, I'm always looking to finish fights, and I've got a real strong uh, kill ratio, and I want to maintain that. I'd love to stop him like second round. I do feel that he's really good, so it's gonna. I'm gonna have to like drag him into deep water a little bit, but I do feel that if I'm smart and I make the right decisions, I could take him out. So I'm looking to take him out in the second round, hopefully.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on him, man. He's fighting in his home city,
Yeah,
hype. You know what I mean? He's creating the hype himself as well. It's just there's a lot of pressure on him. You're kind of going in there into enemy territory. There's always pressure, but it's a little less, right?
yeah, yeah. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I love that. Obviously, I'm gonna get a lot of booze and all that, but can't wait. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
super excited for that. Noise is noise to me. Um, yeah, I'm very excited to go there on his home turf and upset him in front of his fans. It's gonna be fun.
What do you what do you think is on the line with this fight? Because I see like two top guys, top welterweights competing, but it's not for the tournament. Is it? It's not for the tournament, right?
No,
So what
no,
is
it's
on
not
the
for the
line?
fun. It's just a fight, yeah, it's amazing, really. Like just a really high level fight. But it's going to open doors. I'm on a one fight deal. This is going to open some big doors. PFL, I imagine after this, are going to be really interested in me, and I'm free. You know what I mean? So I imagine other shows will be interested in me off the back of a win because let's face it, my opponent is no slouch. Is a really well respected guy by the MMA community. So big win coming.
And the PFL versus Bellator, the welterweight fight is canceled. I believe Magomedov was injured, but there's a bunch of other fights. What do you think of this concept? Every year there's gonna bring champion versus champion.
Oh, I think that's unbelievable. I think it's such a massive move by PFL. Super interesting. I feel that some of them Bellator guys are gonna definitely collect some titles. I feel like it's really strong. But obviously, now it's all one. The possibilities are super interesting. Like I look forward to watching it. Just sat there as a fan watching it. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and also the seasons are much more interesting now. From what I heard here, behind the scenes is a bunch of the Bellator fighters are going to be in the PFL season, which
Yeah.
makes the level of competition just insane,
Oh,
right? It's going to be
just
fun.
elevated.
This is going to be the
Yeah.
best season, I think.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's elevated massively. It's gonna be crazy. Obviously, I'm really looking forward to seeing the champions versus the champions. I think that's such a wild idea. It'll be interesting to see. You know what I mean? I'm really looking forward to it.
And before I let you go, man, I wanted to talk a little bit about your incident with UAE Warriors. I read your post, man.
Yeah,
That was a hefty fight week for you, man. That was some roller coaster moments right there.
yeah, man. I came off the sofa. You know what I mean? Like I came off the sofa to take a fight. I got called on like the Wednesday, and then the next thing you know, I'm flying out there. And I agreed to take this guy who's unbeaten. I thought it was a good opportunity for me. I thought, I'll take a calculated risk and see if this prospect is going to live up to his hype. My bags and stuff are on the plane, and the next thing you know, I get told it's pulled out. But they tell me to arrive anyway. Well, I'd have had to anyway because my bags were on the plane. But like, arrive anyway, and they'll try to find me a replacement opponent. Which I started getting opponents offered, but it was at 5 kilo heavier, which is just like a bit ridiculous anyway. So like out of season welterweights they was offering. In the end, I agreed to take on somebody at 85 kilo. Bearing in mind, 80 kilo really isn't my weight, but that's what I agreed to, and that's what I contracted to. And then I'd accepted this guy after all this, a lot of like debating and a bit of hassle. And then the guy wants it at 90 kilo, which realistically, as all MMA fighters know, that means he could be cutting 5 kilo to get to 90 kilo. So it's like, realistically, they didn't offer me the same weight fight once, but because I refused to fight somebody much heavier, because you don't punch above your weight, yeah, they basically said that they don't have to pay me, which I think is just criminal, really. They
Yeah.
also took my bloods. They sent me to fucking press conference. Like, I've flown to Abu Dhabi. Like, that's work, really. And they've also made it difficult for me to collect I was supposed to get £100 a day that I was there. And instead of just transferring it to my bank, I've got to go somewhere. It's like they've just made everything as awkward as possible. And I've never been treated like that. It's just a really crap situation. And I thought they were better than that. I thought they had fighters' interest, and it looked like from the outside, it looked like an appealing show. But obviously, it's ridiculous. So that's all I've got to say about it. Really, it's a wild situation.
Yeah, that should never happen.
Unfairly, you know what I mean? It's bad, really.
Yeah, that should never happen to any fighter, especially a show that is on Fight Pass, that is, considered one of the bigger leagues around the world, right?
Yeah. So like my flight was also booked for the Sunday, but because they'd have had to pay me £100 a day, they actually paid for me to have a new flight to fly home the next day on the Thursday. They didn't even want me to stay and watch the event or anything. Like, they just like, no, you got to go. If you stay, it's at your own cost, and flew me back out of there as quick as possible. So they paid extra to send me back, but yet won't give me my wage. I only wanted my wage, not my win bonus, just my wage. And to be honest with you, I was getting underpaid anyway. Like, it was a big pay cut for me. But again, it was a calculated risk, and it was an opportunity to be active, and I've missed being active. So I thought, I'll just take it. But yeah, it all backfired, really. If like at that moment, it just really put me off MMA a little bit. I just thought, God, this is just like terrible. This is like MMA going backwards. Yeah. Disappointed by that UAE Warriors.
Have you had any communication with them since then?
No, nothing. They asked my manager to tell me to remove my post. And the guy was upset that I repeated what he said word for word. And my manager was obviously like, well, yeah, but that's what was said. He hasn't written anything that's false. And also, he explained to this guy, this promoter, he was like, Jackson Adult is upset. You've dealt with him unfairly. He's entitled to put whatever he wants. He was like, I don't control him. But yeah, so they was upset with the post. But obviously, I was upset with how they treat me. So it's crazy.
It is. Man, yeah, keep the post up, man. That's what you need to do.
Forget 100%. It's pinned on my wall, so like, if people keep sharing that. But yeah, let people know. You know what I mean? But like, I do feel like in situations like that, like that's when fighters need to, unfollow them. Don't entertain them. There's so many big shows out there. We don't need them. You know what I mean? And there's shows out there doing it properly and professionally, like PFL, like all these other shows at Brave. Like, I just know that wouldn't have happened on any of them bigger shows.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. But you know what? It's not going to happen in your next fight because, like you said, PFL, they're professional.
Yeah, it's going through. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Exciting times.
Yeah, for sure, man. March 7th, PFL Europe, man. It's gonna be great, Jack. I'm happy to see you get this opportunity, man. You've put in your work. You put in your time, man. It's time to, like you said, go on that run. Let's see you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's my moment. I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready. I just want to get there now. You know what I mean? So yeah.